what's going on?
Okay. I just ran away from home.
What you're hearing is the voice of Jordan Turpin, a child who had escaped the family home of David and Louise Turpin. While the story itself is very dark and it looks into extreme things of sexual abuse, child abuse, and torture, gives true crime fans a look at what captive control actually looks like. The story of the Turpin family wasn't hidden in a remote location or underground. It happened in plain sight, inside a suburban home. Because for years, parents enforced extreme control over their children, and they were isolated from the outside world. They were denied education, they were denied any type of medical care, and more horrifyingly, were starved and restrained. But see, the most powerful control wasn't all the training, it was called conditioning. See, the children were taught that obedience meant survival, that punishment was deserved, that the outside world was dangerous and forbidden. That is coercive control on a systematic level. And over time, victims in these environments develop something called learned helplessness. Belief that escape is impossible, even when the doors aren't locked. See, that fear becomes the routine and compliance becomes automatic. That's why the neighbors never heard any screams. That's why the children never ran, because that long-term abuse often creates trauma responses. It often is confusing to outsiders. Things like extreme passivity, delayed speech or social skills, difficulty making decisions, fear of authority, and an inability to ask for help, even when that help is often nearby. And when one brave child finally escaped and was able to call for help, and authorities arrived on scene, they were able to see the scale of the abuse. But see, the aftermath revealed a very hard truth. Rescue doesn't instantly undo trauma, because those years of captivity helped rewire the brain, and trust had to slowly be rebuilt, and autonomy had to be relearned. The Turpin family case teaches us something very critical. Abuse doesn't always hide in chaos. Sometimes it hides in order, in rules, and in silence. And unless we learn to recognize these patterns, control can continue even without locks. And if you made it to the end of the video and you enjoy dark psychology videos, go ahead and hit that follow button for more.